This is an African reaction. At the same time, we're gonna do another update from Weebo Union. Let's go.
This one is a breaking news update as we are currently seeing an ongoing Ukrainian spearhead going across multiple points of the front line. First off, we have in the south by the Zaporizhia front, south of Oryhiv in the direction of Robotyne. We're seeing here an Ukrainian armored convoy attacking the village and the Russian defensive lines here by the village to the east, to the northeast, this part right here. The Ukrainian forces are attacking in this direction as they are using multiple armored vehicles to do so. And we're already receiving the first pictures of a destroyed Ukrainian armored convoy from this direction. In other news, we're also seeing the Ukrainians attack in two directions by the northern flank of Bakhmut. They are attacking in the direction of Verhivka, where we see here from this video and from the source Syriac maps that the Ukrainian forces have reached the city and village of Verhivka, where they are actually fighting within the village now. And then we also see this video here, and also from Syriac Maps, who has geolocated it, the Ukrainian forces attacked to the southeast of Rostolivka in the direction of Soledar in a armored assault here to the northeast in the direction of the northwest of Yakovlivka and the north of Soledar. So the Ukrainian forces have attacked in three different directions throughout this day, and from this information we also see that the Ukrainian forces are heavily focusing on some sort of result prior to the Vilnius summit. So this is actually very interesting, and let's go through the main push, which is here to the south of Oryhiv. Through this, we see that there are a lot of vehicles which have been detected to be destroyed, damaged, and so on, or even abandoned by the front line here to the northeast of Robotyne. So we have received these pictures, and if I count them, we can see that there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different armored vehicles, whether it is tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, or armored personnel carriers. These are 14 different vehicles which are either destroyed, abandoned, or disabled on this specific attack here to the northeast of Robotyne. According to Remy, so far the confirmed losses are 7 Bradley vehicles, 1 Leopard 2A6 mine troll, and 1 Leopard 2R. This is very interesting because this indicates that they are having losses that is
Earth, the origin of our
related to or in the same size as the first day of the offensive, when they did their initial push where they lost 2 Leopard tanks and a bunch of armored vehicles. So far this has only been reported. This has not been confirmed exactly how much their losses are, and some of these are showing abandoned vehicles. They could still be operational and so on. They may have been retrieved already, but we don't know that so far. All we know is that the Ukrainian assault seems to have initially already failed, but they may have a lot more in this push. They may continue this push, especially since the Vilnius summit is tomorrow. So this is the current situation in this part. Now, we see a few videos of Lancet drones attacking some of these vehicles we see in the pictures. We also see some getting hit by artillery. We see that some of these vehicles have mine destroying features that are added to it to allow them to remove the mines through these assaults so that the vehicles can pass through. We also see that in these pictures there's actually a lot of roads that have been used. We look at the pictures that there are multiple directions that tanks and vehicles have gone through, which means that they have moved a lot in this location. There's been a lot of movement. There's most likely been a fight that happened in this direction, which would indicate Russian forces close to the village of Robotyne fighting directly against the Ukrainian forces. And how we know that this is the location, we see it from this update here where they have actually geolocated the areas in which the fighting took place, and it took place exactly right here, as we can see in the picture right here where it shows the geolocation. But yeah, we see right here to the northeast of Robotyne, less than a kilometer away, the Ukrainian forces have already reached this direction, and the fighting was ongoing in right here, which is the furthest the Ukrainians have reached so far through this offensive. Other than that, we have to go through the territorial changes we've seen through the last day according to Syriac maps. First off, here by Berhivka, we see that the Ukrainian forces have reached this deep into the Berhivka village. The Ukrainian forces have managed to get a foothold in the southern part and are fighting within the village itself. Then we have an update from the Rostolivka area here to the north of Soledar, where the Ukrainian forces have managed to push from the village of Rostolivka and down to the southern parts northwest of Yakovlivka and towards both the village of Yakovlivka and Soledar. So they have pushed in this direction as well. Then we see in the direction of Spirne, here the Russian forces have managed to advance through the southern parts of Spirne and are advancing in this location right here. And we also see from the direction of Liman, the Russian forces have managed to increase their foothold here to the south of Sarishne and Torske, northwest of Dubrova, as they have managed to push the Ukrainian forces slightly back in these forest areas and the open fields next to Dubrova. We also see to the north of Spirne, the Russian forces have also managed to advance slightly here, where they have reached the forest lines to the northwest of Spirne in a pincer maneuver, trying to go around the village and capture the Ukrainian forces defending the village from the high ground here to the north. And that is the territorial changes from today. We also see this video here of a Ukrainian soldier filming the aftermath of the fighting that happened by the front line. I'm not exactly sure where this is, and it looks to be, it's not necessarily recent, since there's not a lot of forest patches, which would indicate that it's not in Zaporizhia front. Not exactly sure where this is, but wherever it is, there's a lot of destruction, and he's referring to Vietnam, which I think is very interesting because he doesn't look Western. And if he isn't Western, then what did he do in Vietnam? So I'm slightly confused here. Maybe his commanding officer previously from the Soviet Union probably told him some stories from Vietnam, and then he's referring to that, since the Soviet Union did have officers in Vietnam, which could be where they may have heard some stories from, or maybe from the foreign volunteers from different countries who went to Ukraine from Western countries, who then possibly talked about the experience in Vietnam, if they are a veteran from that war, or if their sergeants or officers who trained them had some experience there, then they could talk about that. Either way, it seems very interesting that he's referring to it as Vietnam, since Vietnam was a very bloody war with a lot of napalm being used, which is what it's known for. So a lot of burning, and we see here the vehicle burning. So there's a lot of possibilities, but it's definitely from him seeing this as a terrible, terrible war. And generally, that is all of the updates for this video. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.